Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everyone doing tonight? I said, let's talk about things that we need for our business. What are some things that we need to protect our business? Let me make sure. Oh, let me make sure I am good to go. Boom, boom. Can y'all hear me? Give me a yes in the comments if you guys can hear me so I can make sure all my stuff is set up correctly. Okay, so yes, you can hear me. Bam, Scarlett. Bam. Okay, I should be good to go. I should be good to go. I should be good to go. So, we are talking about how we're going to protect our business. We are talking about how we're going to protect our business, what things we need for business, and how we can get business funding. How we're going to protect our business, what things we need for business, how we can get business funding. So, first things first. I know you guys are going to say I'm going to talk about an LLC, but I'm going to switch it up tonight. First things first, we need to make sure that we're having contracts in our business. We need to make sure that we're having contracts in our business. So, contracts are basically going to put everyone's expectations down in writing, right? So that I know what I'm doing, you know what you're doing. If our agreement, if I'm not vibing, if I want to get out, how do I get out? How do you get out? What happens if I don't fulfill my end of the bargain? All of those good things. So contracts are very important. Here are some contracts that I feel every business owner needs to have. Number one is going to be an operating agreement. This is going to be the contract that governs your business. It's going to determine ownership. It's going to say who's getting the profits and what percentage. It's going to say how are we splitting these losses. It is a corporate formality, meaning you just need to have it, but an operating agreement is a must. Now, if you form your own LLC, you need to go get an operating agreement. If you go through a company like a LegalZoom, an InkFile, 9 out of 10 times, depending on the package you get, they will give you an operating agreement. I form LLCs and do operating. We want to make sure you have an operating agreement. If you don't have one, I do have an operating agreement template. You want to comment contracts if you're on my Instagram page. If you're on TikTok, if you are on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you're going to want to click that first link in my bio and you want to go ahead and click contract templates. But an operating agreement is a must. If you don't have an operating agreement, then you're going to have to use your state's default rules, and those may not benefit you. So you want to have an operating agreement. If you have a business partner, if there are more than one LLC owner, your operating agreement would also serve as your partnership agreement. Let me tell you why this is so important. When you have a business owner, it's not just you making decisions, it's you and the other person, okay? So there are certain things that you want to make sure you have in your operating agreement to make sure that you and the partner are covered, okay? Number one, I would say there needs to be a buy-sell agreement. If I want to get out of this arrangement, if you want to get out of this arrangement, what does that look like? Can I just go and sell my shares to a person off the street? Or do you want to have first right of refusal, meaning I have to first offer my portion of the business to you, and you have the choice to buy it, the whole thing, or then I can offer it to someone off the street? If something were to happen to me, what's going to happen to my shares or my interest in the business, and who's going to be running the business? Those are two separate things. So let's just say it's two guys that are partners in a business and one guy dies. Do you really want to be partners with his wife, right? Some women are business savvy and can hop right in and take over. Other women really aren't into business, right? So do you want to have a business partner that knows nothing about the business, that doesn't know how anything is ran, and now you have to explain everything that you're doing to her? Probably not. So if that's the case, you can have things in your operating agreement that say, hey, upon my death, my spouse will have my ownership interest, but my partner will maintain all of the voting and running of the business. So the partner can run the business, make all the decisions, and then whatever are the profits, the spouse gets 50%. So that way it's simpler, it's easy to run the business. That is one option, right? So whatever you're thinking about, whatever problem can come arise, especially if you have a business partner, because a business partner is like a marriage, you want to make sure that you have all of those things in your operating agreement. So first contract every business needs is operating agreement. If you don't have one, I have an operating agreement template on my website. You want to comment contracts. If you're on my Instagram page, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, you want to click that first link in my bio for contracts. If your page is private on Instagram, go ahead and click that link in my bio and go ahead and get my contract templates. Now, the second contract you need is going to be what's called a copyright transfer agreement. A copyright transfer agreement is going to let you own your content. So, content rule is this. Copyright rule is this. Whoever owns the copyright, whoever creates the content owns the content. So if you hire someone to design your logo, if you hire someone to take your photos, take your videos, you don't own the content. The person who created the content owns it. Even though you pay them, you don't own the content. So you want to make sure that you're having your graphic designer, your photographer, your videographer sign what's called a copyright transfer agreement. A copyright transfer agreement. This is going to transfer their ownership in the work that they created to you so that you now own it. Well, why would I need that? So that you can own your photos and your videos or your logo. For example, there is a case out in Georgia for Sweetwater Brewery. Sweetwater Brewery started 30 years ago. They hired a family friend to design their logo and paid that family friend $500. 30 years later, Sweetwater Brewery sold for $300 million. Well, what do you think that family friend did? You know what family and friends do? Sue them for $30 million, saying, that logo you're trying to sell with that business belongs to me. If you are an OG, you may recall several years ago, the rapper Cameron had a photo taken of him in like a pink, puffy, furry coat. And for some reason, that photo just became super popular. Fast forward several years later, that Cameron photo started being popular again. And Cameron said, I'm about to take my photo and make some t-shirts and sell it. So Cameron started selling t-shirts of him in his pink furry coat. Well, the photographer said, pump your brakes, Cameron. That's my photo. You cannot put my photo on these shirts and sell them. And so Cameron said, kick rocks. It's a photo of me. I can do what I want to do. Cameron was wrong, and Cameron got sued, and Cameron had to cut that photographer a check because no. I don't care what the photographer took a picture of. You didn't take that picture. The photographer did, so therefore he owns the picture. Okay, so these are reasons as to why you want to make sure that you own all of your content. If you have someone who is working in your business, designing content, creating content, you want to own all of your stuff. So the second contract you want to make sure you have is going to be what's called a copyright transfer agreement. If you need one of these, then you want to comment copy if you're on my Instagram page, or click that first link in my bio. TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, you want to click that first link in my bio. Come on, balloons, for contract templates, and you can get a copyright transfer agreement. Now, the third contract you want to make sure you have is going to be an NDA, or a non-disclosure agreement. An NDA, or a non-disclosure agreement. That is going to basically keep your confidential information private. So think about this. Any information that you don't want your biggest competitor to know of, or your biggest hater, that's what needs to be in a non-disclosure agreement. So things like your vendor list, your customer list, your trade secrets, your systems, your procedures, how you do things, where you buy your supplies from. All of these things you want to keep private. So you want to make sure that your employees are signing a non-disclosure agreement. You may also be wanting to partner up with a business partner or with an investor, right? So you may have a great business idea and you're like, ooh, I want to talk to this person. I want to give them this idea and see if they will partner with me. The person with the money never needs the person with the idea after they get the idea. So you want to make sure when you're coming to someone with a business opportunity that you're protecting it, saying, hey, I'm going to bring you an opportunity. I'm going to bring you some confidential information. If we don't do this deal together, you can't take my idea and go run with it. That will be in what's called a non-disclosure agreement. Several years ago, Kim Kardashian came out with Kimojis, where she had her face on all of the emojis. Kim Kardashian did not come up with that idea. A guy came up with it, got a meeting with Kim, pitched it to her. Kim said, that's the bomb, trademarks the name, does the business without the guy. The guy has now filed bankrupt, has gone homeless trying to sue Kim, but he doesn't have a non-disclosure agreement. He doesn't have a contract saying, hey, I'm bringing you a business idea. If we don't do it together, you can't go do it with someone else. Now, before y'all get in these comments talking about Kim shady, how she gonna do that, she wrong, boom, boom, boom. Baby, it is grimy out here in these business streets. Eat or get eaten, killed or be killed. There is no one coming to save you, okay? So if you don't protect yourself, no one's coming to protect you. No one's coming to save you, okay? So you got to make sure that you have the right contract in place to protect yourself. If you don't have an NDA, if you need one, you want to comment NDA in the comments, or you want to click the first link in my bio and for my contract templates and get an NDA disclosure. So the three contracts we need are going to be an operating agreement. They're going to be a copyright transfer agreement, and they're going to be an NDA, or a non-disclosure agreement. Now, the next thing we need to do to protect our business is we are going to need to have a proper business structure. We are going to need to have a proper business structure. Our business structure is so important because this is what is our foundation, meaning we don't want to build something on a faulty foundation. A faulty foundation is going to be a DBA. A faulty foundation is going to be a sole proprietor. A faulty foundation can just be one LLC when you need multiple LLCs. A faulty foundation means not the proper business structure for you. Okay? So, first things first, you want to make sure that you have the correct business structure, an LLC or corporation, EIN, operating agreement, business bank account. The next thing you want to think of is what is the liability that you are exposed to? What is the liability in your industry that you are exposed to? Certain industries are more riskier than others. There are two types of liability that you need to pay attention to. Number one is going to be inside liability. Inside liability. Inside liability means there is something that's going to happen inside of your business that's going to cause the lawsuit. Someone may slip and fall in your business. There may be a breach of contract or a contract dispute. I thought the contract read 1, 2, 3. You thought the contract read 3, 2, 1. Something inside of the business is causing the lawsuit. And so we're trying to contain the liability to the business and have it not come outside the business into our other assets. That's inside liability. The other liability that you have to be aware of when you're a business owner is going to be outside liability. Outside liability means there's something that you do outside of the business that can cause a lawsuit. Something that you do outside of the business that can cause the lawsuit. Oh, hold on. They're saying I am frozen. Let's try this again. Bam. Hold on. Let's see if I can try this again. Hold on, I'm coming. I'm on this. Yeah, I think I'm doing something. I got these mics. I got this eCam live. I really think I'm doing something. I really think I'm doing something. Hold on. Can I add my Instagram live to this? Let me see. Or am I going to start I'm not going to start all the way over. Let's see. Can I add Instagram to this or no? Oh, we're going to have to just finish. We are going to have to just finish. Okay, well, Instagram is going to be out. Outside liability is when we do something that causes the liability. So if we were to be driving down the street and we hydroplane and we crash into someone, that is outside liability. That's going to cause a lawsuit, and we want to make sure that if we're being sued personally, that the liability is not going to cause us to lose our assets or our business assets. Okay, so we have inside liability, outside liability. Now, the way that we protect ourselves is by having what I call layers. How many layers of protection around us can we put? Ways that we put layers around us is number one, we can have insurance, right? But we got to understand that insurance has caps and insurance has limits. So insurance is one way of putting a layer of protection around us. Running our business like it's Walmart or following the corporate formalities is another way that we can put a layer of protection around us. Having a business structure system, meaning more than one LLC, using things like parent companies, holding companies, anonymous LLCs, trusts, things that will mask the ownership, meaning when someone Googles your name, your assets don't pop up. We're masking the fact that you own these things. Having a business structure system is another way of putting a layer around you. So if something were to happen based on something that you did, we won't lose everything. Okay, so the way that we have our layers is number one, insurance. Number two, following our corporate formalities, running our business like it's Walmart. And then number three is going to be having a business structure system, multiple entities, creative ways in owning our assets that's going to mask our name, mask our ownership so that people don't know that we are a target, right? A great way to not get sued is to look like you don't have anything. So when an attorney is, looking you up, they're Googling your name, they're looking to see what is coming up that you own. It looks like you don't own anything. Well, if you don't own anything, then that means I'm not going to get anything. If I'm not going to get anything, then what's the point of me suing you? Right? If a 1972 Cadillac Chevelle hoopty on 3 wheels and 1 hubcap ran into you, are you really checking for their insurance? Or are you like, I already know about the type of car you have, you don't have insurance, I'm about to just go get my car fixed on my own. So we want to look as asset poor as possible so that will be a deterrent, a reason why someone wouldn't want to sue us because they feel like we don't have anything, okay? So the layers will be number one, having the proper insurance. Number two, having a business structure system. Number three is going to be running our business like it's Walmart, following our corporate formalities so that the corporate veil isn't pierced. Meaning, yes, I have my LLC, but I wasn't running it right. My LLC became inactive. I never reactivated. Now they're going to disregard my LLC and they're coming after my personal assets. Yes, I formed my LLC, but maybe I was commingling. Maybe I was taking that business credit card and swiping it at Shein, at Fashion Nova, at Sephora, and getting my nails done. So they're going to disregard my LLC and come after my personal assets. Okay, so putting layers around your structure, layers around how you're running your business, the layers around having the contracts, all of those things are going to help protect you. There is no one thing that's going to make you bulletproof. There is no one structure. There is no one trust. There is no one insurance policy. There is no one contract that guarantees that no one can take anything. It's a collective system. It's all of the layers that we use, that we pile on top of each other to try to minimize whatever is the loss that we're going to take. That is how business structure works to protect your assets. So if any of this stuff is like, girl, this is good, I need more, how do I get more? Let me tell you how. Number one, I have a free masterclass on Thursdays and Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you click that first link in my bio and you sign up for my See You at the Bank masterclass, it's a free masterclass going over how to structure, fund, and market your business. If you like, girl, I don't want the free stuff, give me the real stuff. Give me the real deal, Holyfield. I got you. I got you. You can either join my 5-day business challenge. It's going to be June 23rd to the 27th. Or to be honest, I really do a business challenge about every 8 to 10 weeks. So if you're catching this YouTube or this TikTok video months later, still check my website. I have multiple business challenges going on throughout the year. I have a 5-day business challenge. That's the bomb.com. Can we say bomb.com? It's the bomb.com. This challenge is going to get transformational results. We're going over business structure, asset protection, how to fund your business in your EIN only, how to market your business to have more money than month, and how to make money in your sleep by selling a digital product. You want to click the link in my bio, and for challenge, you want to click on that 5-day business challenge. If you're like, girl, what should my structure be? What kind of things do I need to be? I want to like to sit down. I want to have a Zoom session with you, and you kind of break down and see all what I have going on, all what I'm doing, on what's the best way to structure or restructure my business. Do I have the right foundation? Am I running my business correctly? Then you want to click the link in my bio, and you want to book a consultation with me, where I will sit down, I will see what you have going on, I will see what you have in the future wanting to develop, and I will show you the best business structure for you for running your business in compliance and for asset protection reasons. So those are the 3 ways to get in contact with me. And if you're just like, girl, how do I just get immersed into your ecosystem? Like, how can I get into your mentorship program? Well, I do have an 8-week mentorship program. It is an investment. If you're willing to invest, then you want to click that first link in my bio and do a consultation with me just to make sure that we're on the same page, because my mentorship program is intense. Okay, it's intense, and I want to make sure that we are both invested in making sure that you are dedicated in getting your business to the bank. Okay, so that's how you can work with me. Feel free to follow me on my YouTube page, on my Instagram page. I give away a lot of free nuggets, a lot of free games to help everyone get their business structured right, funded right, and marketed right. Okay. It is now 1:00 a.m. How are y'all liking my new little setup? I mean, give me some little fire emojis in the comments if you are liking my new setup. I got me some new cameras. I got a new mic. I think I'm doing something. What y'all think though? I think I am doing something, okay? Everyone have a fabulous night, and I will, of course, see you at the bank.